Welcome in, quick hitters, on terrific Thursday. Sports news. What done happened in sports news here lately? I know one thing that happened. They seem like they don't want to sign Saquon Barkley. Can't you believe that? New York Giants. Should they pay the man? But I want to know, the NFL, are they devaluing star running backs now in this league? It's possible. But I'm going to tell you one thing. If they don't sign Saquon Barkley. All right, let's talk about it. Welcome back in, quick hitters. Saquon Barkley. I'm going to go back, though, because I remember in the 90s, we didn't have this problem. Back when I was actually covering college football, back when I was coming out of high school, man, running backs was the cream of the crop. Back in those 90s, late 90s, some early 90s too. But we can go even further back than that, to be honest with you. We can talk about the Earl Campbell days, the Bo Jacksons. That's when running backs were very valued back then. I mean, you look at all the college teams, the Texas A&M, the Aggies, the Ohio States. I can go way back, man. We can talk about Greg Hill. We can go back to Eddie George. We can bring it up in that time. Tyrone Wheatley. You know, it was just college teams that just bred great running backs. Now we got into this league, and now they're talking about devaluing. That's what it seems like. They devaluing running backs now. I'm going to tell you one thing about Saquon Barkley, and we can also put that on a quick hit spotlight, Saquon Barkley. Giants need to pay Saquon Barkley. This guy is still, now I know what they're thinking. Oh, he's coming off an injury. Do we want to invest in this guy long term? I'm going to tell you right now, you need to invest in him long term. You want Daniel Jones to be healthy and to be productive coming into a season. Yes, I think you do need to pay this guy and want to keep him on your team. It's a gamble to make to me. Yeah, he got injured. Is it a possibility he might get injured again? Yes, it's a possibility he could get injured again. But you know what? I'm willing to roll that dice. He is one of the running backs in a league that's a game changer. Every time this guy gets the ball, he has a great chance of busting it and going all the way for a touchdown. He's a guy that's into his craft. You know what you're going to get each and every game with Saquon Barkley. He plays all out, and he is a student of the game. So if I'm the New York Giants, I'm thinking seriously about signing this guy. And I think they got the deadline to Monday is what I'm hearing. We'll get into the article later, but man, yeah, Saquon Barkley, man, all these running backs being devalued. I think they are. Young running backs. And it's tough. It really is tough. And as far as the New York Giants, I could care less about the New York Giants, to be honest with you, in the NFC. They're just another rival along with Dallas and Washington. But as far as these running backs, I do care about that, because if they're going to start devaluing running backs, they're going to have to change up their expertise. They're going to have to change up their skill level. You can't just come in and be a running back anymore. You have to be able to do multiple things in the NFL as a running back. Perfect example, Christian McCaffrey. Guy that can do it running the ball, he can do it blocking, and we already know about the passing and receiving. So from now on, that's what teams are looking for. If you're just a pound-for-pound running back, that's not going to cut in this league anymore. All the Earl Campbells, the Bo Jacksons, the Jim Browns, they don't want any more pound-for-pound running backs no more. And besides, they're playing by committee now. They don't want just running back taking the bulk of the carries. They need you to last the rest of the season. They want to share the load. So that's kind of making running backs expendable now, because you can just pick a handful of guys that can do one great running back's job. You can get a guy that can scat a little bit. You can get a guy that can run in between the lines. You can get a guy who can do receiving, who catches a third down back. So it makes it real hard for guys like Saquon Barkley, G.S.Q.H, all these guys to get these big paydays now. It's starting to be on a decline. I hate to see it, but it's going to force them to sharpen up their game. They have no choice but to sharpen up their game as a running back. You have to do multiple things. Another guy I'm going to bring up that is already was making that transition before he retired, Marshall Faulk. Marshall Faulk is a running back who can do it all. Running, passing, blocking. And I say passing, I mean receiving, but you can also throw passing in there because he threw a few touchdowns. He's a guy who actually can throw the ball. So we're going to get into this article real quick here. And I'll put it up at the top what it says. Why star NFL running backs have been devalued. Something feels wrong about what's happening for running backs in the NFL as teams approach training camp later this month. 4 respected veteran rushers remain free agents, seemingly with little interest. Kareem Hunt wasn't re-signed by the Browns after his contract expired, while Ezekiel Elliott, Leonard Fournette, and Dalvin Cook were released by their respective franchises to create salary cap space. None of the 4 has signed elsewhere. Now that's pretty much, you can say this is the cream of the crop. You can say these guys' careers are done. You can say what have you. But these guys are not 33, 35 years old. So you're going to be on a shelf fighting to find a job in the league in your 20s now? It's a real shame, man. These guys might want to start trying out for a receiver, slot, or something. Popular veterans getting cut toward the tail end of their careers is nothing new, but the age at which these players have become free agents stands out. Cook, Elliott, and Hunt are 27. Fournette is 28. 27 old stars at other positions are years from being cut candidates. No team would dream of moving on from Myles Garrett, Deebo Samuel, or Budda Baker, each of whom is 27. Those 27-year-olds who play other positions are in the primes of their careers. Meanwhile, 27-year-old running backs are being portrayed as fossils hanging on to any hope of a meaningful NFL career for their life. There you have it. 27-year-olds. 27-year-old running backs being devalued, basically saying their career is done. Now, I know running backs get a lot of wear and tear, and that's one thing they look at, but 27, come on. Now, I can understand maybe 32, 33, you start thinking about it. But man, if these guys are going to start getting cut and devalued at 27, 28 years old, they're going to have to pivot their life in another career. I'm telling you that right now. They're going to have to find another career. That's when you hope you fell back on your schooling and got your degrees and all this other stuff. Because, hey, if you haven't got multiple big contracts in this league as a running back, it's possible you need to jump back in the field. Jump back in the field and still work to provide for your career. It's unbelievable. These guys getting cut. They're not getting picked up. So the best thing I look at this for these running backs is that they got to come well-rounded. Not just working on running the ball. To be of value to any team, I believe that they're not only going to have to run the ball, but they're going to have to block. They're going to have to be heavily in the receiving game. And might even be able to pass, a reverse pass or halfback pass every once in a while, just to keep your value up. Now, that might not even help. Who knows? But this is a passing league now. It really is a passing league, and all they need is running backs too, is just to confuse things up a little bit, just to do what they actually want to do, is throw the ball down the field. So more running backs that you have that can catch the ball, big in receiving, like a Christian McCaffrey, you good. You'll never see Christian McCaffrey not get paid. You'll never see Christian McCaffrey get devalued at this time in his career because he's looked at as valued. He's more than just a running back. And that's why I'm saying these other guys, they're going to have to tighten up their game. They're going to have to get their expertise down. They have to just work on more than just running the ball. Because the ones who just can run and not catch or run and not block, you can forget it. You can forget it. So yeah, it's unfortunate. But New York Jets, I think y'all need to go ahead and pay the man.
Yeah. Hold on. Shut down. Let's jump on this. Give me the money. Done talking. Give me the money. Yeah, my dog banking. Give me the money. Done talking. Give me the money. Give me the money. Hey, I check it's fine. 1S, 2 lines, that is the dollar sign. Hey, I check it's fine. 1S, 2 lines, that is the dollar sign.
Yes, go ahead and pay the man. Saquon Barkley, he's somebody you need to gamble on. He's not like every other running back. This guy is one play from scoring a touchdown every time he puts his hands on the ball. You see how he scats. You see how he works hard. He's dedicated to his craft. I think he's worth paying. What other options are you going to have if you don't sign this guy? Think about that. Do you want relief for Daniel Jones, your quarterback? Because I'm going to be honest with Daniel Jones, I mean, he all right. I ain't saying he ain't no Steve Young. He ain't no Kurt Warner. He's a good Band-Aid right now. Maybe he comes in this year and proves something. But right now, he's just ordinary and average. So you take away Saquon Barkley, you might have exposed your quarterback. There's no telling. Are you willing to test that out?
Oh, that's not good.
So yes, pay the man. I think he's worth it. I think he's worth the gamble. Injuries are part of sports. So what if he doesn't get injured ever again? Then what? Then I think you found your running back. So that's my take on that. That's the quick hit on that issue with Saquon Barkley. I believe they do need to pay him. I think it's a gamble. Everything is a gamble. But the man has earned it, I think, man. This guy, you don't hear nothing about him off the field. You don't hear nothing about him not working on this game. I mean, this guy here, he's the real deal Holyfield. And he needs to be compensated for it. So what else we got on the queue? Matter of fact, we'll take a commercial break. We'll come back. We'll talk about this summer league again. Rockets, man, 3-0. Are they trying to win the summer league championship? I don't know. They act like it. But we'll get into those games. We'll be right back. Let's put a few plugs in the socket. Welcome back in, quick hitters. The Rockets and the Warriors are tipping off at 6 o'clock. Yes, it looks like the Rockets are trying to win this championship. They're playing good. I got to give it to them. Even without their top guys that was in there like Jabari Smith, Tari Eason. Cam looked like he might be able to carry him. He's very aggressive. Cam still got a little more to work on. I want him really to be in a rotation coming up for this regular season, but for some reason I think he's not going to make that rotation. I think he's not full, well-rounded, and polished yet. Not only that, he just turned 19 years old. In a man's league, it's going to be hard to try to find him some minutes to actually carve out, 15, 20 minutes you try to give him. I just think this roster is full of young guys, full of talent. You got some great 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds, and I think he just fell on the lower end of teams, and that might hurt him. As far as his body and everything, he has the NBA body, but I just think he's not polished yet. And they might send him down to that G League just for him to polish up a few things and probably call him up in case they need him for an injury or they feel like he's well developed. They can bump him up, or somebody else not playing well and they'll bump them down. But Cam's going to be all right. We don't have to worry about Cam. So, yeah, Rockets against Golden State. You want to check that out? Look into it. That will be 6 o'clock on ESPN. Got a few games on now, matter of fact. 62-56, Cleveland over the Bulls. 48-43, 76ers over the Hawks right now in the second quarter. So we got several games on today, running in tonight. But yeah, man, I think the Rockets are doing very well. I'm enjoying watching them in the Summer League. Summer League is a lot of action. They got some other guys. Who is it? Hinton, another guy that's out there playing pretty well too. Got some guard action going on. And they look like they're trying to win every game. So, yeah, so tune in on that. I think the Rockets are in good shape. So can't wait till the season starts and see where they're going to fall for as a rankings. See how they develop as they go through the year. But I'm looking at a play-in tournament. I really am. That will solidify this season coming up if they can find themselves in a play-in situation. I'm going to keep saying that. Now, let's say if they barely miss the play-in, still a successful season. Look, they won 22 games last year. 22. I think anything is an improvement. If they won 30 games, it'll be an improvement. But we do got high stakes. We got high hopes. You know, we want playoffs. Udoka's thinking playoffs. The city's thinking playoffs. We all thinking playoffs. So that's why I think we're going to get it. Play-in. I know I said playoffs, but play-in. Play-in leads to the playoffs. If we just get in the play-in, we get knocked out of the play-in. That is a damn hell of a season. Yes, it will be if you go into the play-in. So y'all enjoy y'all terrific Thursday. Weekends coming up shortly. And what else? Anything else we need to talk about? I think that should wrap it up. And this is G.S.Q.H. Don't forget to check out wherever you podcast at Goodymo17 on Twitter. And until next time, we out of here. Peace.